Hello and welcome back to Here We Tow. Today I'm at Herne Lane Caravan and Motorhome Club site in Somerset and I'm here to review this. This is the Bailey Endeavour B62 Campervan. Now the Endeavour range is fairly new to the market based on Ford, and there's actually 4 layouts available. 2 have pop tops and 2 are standard like this. This model is a 2-berth model. It has 2 travel seats. So let's go through the facts and figures first of all, and then we can have a look around and dive inside. So what do we need to know? As I said, it's based on the Ford. It has a 2-litre diesel engine, 165 horsepower, and comes standard with automatic transmission. Price-wise, you're going to be looking at around £70,000 for this campervan. Now, in terms of its size, so it's 5 metres and 98 centimetres in length, it's 2 metres and 10 centimetres in width, and it's 2 metres and 82 centimetres in height. In terms of its weight, the good thing about the Endeavour, it's a 3.5 tonne campervan, or 3,500 kilos, so you can drive it on your standard car licence. You don't need your C1. Payload, you're going to get a good payload as well, 627 kilos, so not bad at all. Right, we're going to make our way around before we go inside. So starting at the front, the models all come in the chrome blue paintwork finish. You'll see the model that you have here with the B62 on this one, Ford badge, and we can see here the sensors down at the front. Coming down the near side. Now, as I say, just under a 6-metre campervan, you will get a standard, the 2-lay wind-out awning, and there's also an LED strip as well running under this part here. The Ford wheels in the nice dark coloured finish, which complement the paintwork nicely. And the good thing is with a campervan is you do get the more narrow door mirrors as well. Now the habitation door is on the near side. You will get the electric step. The button to operate that is inside. These are the decals or the graphics here on the 2025 model. Up on the roof, you will get a 100-watt solar panel, and you'll also get a television aerial as well. Let's make our way round to the rear. So the back end, the rear view camera, that's up there. Bailey and Endeavour embossed up there in the graphics. The 2 tinted windows at the back. And then if I open up the rear doors, so pushing these back as such, that one and then that one, it opens it up into this layout. Now this one actually has a rear lounge. It's quite nice. We'll see that when we go inside. Now first of all, here on the near side we have a storage locker that you can see under there, and then round on this side there's a storage locker here as well. Now at the moment we've got the electric hookup cable under there. You can also access these from inside by lifting up the bench seats of the lounge, so you can access your storage internally, and then you can see there's some room there underneath if needs be, but that goes into your lounge area. So that's the back end. Obviously if it's a nice day you can open up the doors and let that light and fresh air in if you like. Up here you can see the winder. Now this is quite clever. The winder for the awning is stored up here as well. I quite like that feature. And in these windows, which do open, you are going to get concertina blinds and fly screens too. So a nice touch there with the concertinas. Let's close that up and head off down the off side. So coming down here, you're going to find your electric hookup points. If you're on a pitch with electric, this is where you're going to be hooking up. The vent here for the Truma air-blown heating. Now on board the Endeavour, you're going to get the Truma diesel heater. It's the D4E. So if you're off-grid, you can run your Truma air-blown heating off your diesel tank. If you're on an electric hookup pitch, you can plug in and you can run this off the electric system. So that's great for both, whether you're on-grid or off. The water filler. On board, you're going to get a 100-litre fresh water tank and a 56-litre grey waste tank. So a slightly smaller grey waste there, bit of a compromise, but plenty of fresh water. So as long as you're able to dump that water, not a problem. You could carry a container with you if you needed to empty it and empty it on site. And then we have our toilet cassette point here. The all-in-one washroom is behind here, so there's no window here. Again, we'll see that as we go inside. And then there's the driver's door, obviously, to get into your cab. Right, let's head round and go inside the Endeavour B62. Now what I'll do first of all, I will open our sliding door. There we go. Now on board there is a gas locker here. This will take one 6 kilo gas bottle. You're not going to need a lot of gas because your heating's not going to need it. The only thing really going to be running off that is going to be in your kitchen there. So that is only a 6 kilo storage locker. The button for the electric step is here, so that will bring that in and out. And then we see some storage shelves, a plug socket and a light switch for going in. There's a handy handle here actually, handy handle. So if you take hold of your handy handle and in you go. Now that awning light strip, I'll just press that button. That's actually up here on the control panel. So you press that, that's going to turn that awning light on. I appreciate it's daylight, so you might not see it overly well. And then you press it again and you turn that off. Now as you come in, we have our Ford cab. Multifunctional steering wheel, the automatic gearbox and a really good size infotainment system there. And you're also going to see your rear view camera on that screen. This seat does swivel round, Bailey embossed on here. Now the really good thing about this Endeavour for 2025, it's got the new fabric, the new upholstery, and I much prefer it to when they launched the Endeavour because it was the one thing that probably put me off the vehicle, if I'm honest, and I did say that at the time. So it's nice to see a change in the fabrics. We'll see that more as we head back. So up here, there's a fixed sunroof here. You do get a blind, so if it's a sunny day, the sun's coming in, you can pull your blind across. It's got a nice tint to it though as this, so that should help. Storage shelf, various storage parts on here. And then we do also have above each of the seats these little LED lights. They are turned on. This one here has a USB in it. There is also another little LED light there. So if you are sitting in these seats, you have some lighting. Then we move down further into the campervan. What I'll do is I'll do this side first and then I'll move to this side. So as we come in, we find the kitchen here on the near side. We have the swivel tap with hot and cold water, nice circular size tap. Under here, there is storage. So we've got a shelf and then here there is a pull-out drawer. That's going to be for your cutlery, no doubt. Another bit of storage there. And on the back of this door, there's also a little hook here so you could hang oven gloves or a tea towel on there. And then coming across, there is the Thetford 3 gas burner hob. Underneath, there is the dual gas oven and grill. So if you like to cook on board, you're not going to be disappointed here with that. Underneath, you've then got a really good sized storage locker under there. There's no separate shelves, so that has got height and depth, so you could put taller things in there. And then above this locker, you'll notice these push in and out. I have opened these to make it a little bit easier, but when you're in transit, you want these closed, so you're locking those. But push, open up, and we've got an overhead locker. This is a full height part, and this we have got the shelf here. Not bad storage for a campervan in this kitchen area. Before I move further on, as we've come in through the door, these are the control panels for the Truma air-blown heating, and you've also got your control panel here to turn on your water and your lighting. So your control panel here, and these nice LED lights as well as you step in. Now coming down, there's more light switches here, and we also have 2 plug sockets. And what you are going to get as well is a kitchen extension flap, which is always a bonus because there's not much, especially if you've got this up, there's not much worktop space. So we have got an extension flap. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just move back and show you this part here before we progress into the campervan. Now, I do like this. So opening this up, we have got wardrobe storage, so you can hang items here, put clothing on here, and there is a mirror as well in this door. And then underneath, we've got a 90 litre Thetford compressor fridge with freezer compartment. So this will only run off electric. This is your freezer compartment. When you're on your electric hookup, you plug in and it's going to go through the mains electric. When you're off grid, this will run off your leisure battery, your 12 volt system. So you've got that 100 watt solar panel recharging your leisure battery, and that's going to run off there. So that's a compressor 90 litre fridge or freezer by Thetford. Moving back, now I like this. When you first come into the motorhome, when the door is in this state here, there's a nice amount of space to walk through. There's plenty of room here, as you can see. This is actually your all-in-one washroom. If you look down, we have got this board here. So this board, which can lift up during the day, if you're not using it to shower, you want to have this situated in this segment here. So it's going to add to your flooring. It's going to actually match the flooring under this carpet. When you're ready to have a shower or use the shower facilities, you take that out and you swivel this around. So what this does, there is a magnetic strip here. This side pushes. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll just demonstrate this, but then we'll move around because the shower compartment is a little bit cheeky to get into. So what it's going to do, it's going to enclose you fully in there to use the toilet or the washroom. And that's now got this nice silver finish. It does make this a little narrower, so you can see it's a good use of space though. That's become narrow. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to let Jules come round and film me in here. As I say, it's a challenging space to film. It's not a challenging space to use, but it's a little bit more difficult to film through the door. So once you're in, now first of all, let's start in this corner. So the bathroom's on the off side. There is a shower. We can see it's attached here, feeds down, and it goes here into this. When you want to use this as your actual sink tap, you feed this back in. So it's an all-in-one tap. It feeds in and back in it goes. So there we go. So you'll turn your tap on, you've then got your sink. There is a little nozzle there, so when you're showering, you want to give that a little push as well. So in terms of your shower, you have got a shower curtain. That's going to come across, and then your shower space is here. It's a fairly compact space, but there's always a compromise. It's a 6-metre campervan at the end of the day, but perfectly usable. There's a plug down there, and there's a second plug behind me as well. Now your sink, plenty of room to get your head in there, and you're going to find a nice storage cupboard underneath. Now there's no bars, so be careful if you put toiletries there, because when you arrive on site they might fall out, so just check on those. And there's also a toilet roll holder in here as well. And then what I do like as well is there is a mirror. Now if you're a bit smaller like me, you probably just see the top of your head, but at least it's there. And there's a hook here as well for a towel. Now, let me slide around this way maybe. Here we go. I'll just push this a little further. Toilet. Now, you're going to be using the toilet with the door shut. When this is shut, you can get on here, not a problem. It does swivel side to side when the door is shut. What I have found is actually quite high. You can see it's almost on like a slight pedestal. So it's quite a high toilet. So again, if you're taller, you'll probably benefit from that. And then in this corner, we've got some more shelves here. Another hook here for the towels, and then just up here, give this a pull, there we go, there's another little storage compartment just up there. So I'm sorry that's not really easy to show you, but it's a difficult little space to film in, but when you're in it, it's actually quite usable. Right, let me slide that back and get out. There we go. Right, and then you can see again how that just opens that up really nicely. So it's a good use of space. Now what we'll do is we'll have a look into the lounge area. So I'm just going to swap around with Jules and we'll make that a little bit easier to film and for me to show you everything. So we've done our kitchen, we've done the bathroom space. Now we come back into the rear of the Endeavour B62 rear lounge. I like this. So for some people who don't want a permanent fixed bed, they want this space to relax, this could be an ideal layout for you. You can see, if I just sit down, you've got this lovely U-shaped wraparound. One of the compromises often with campervans and motorhomes is space to relax, especially if the weather's bad and you're inside. Not the case on this. You can sit up with your legs up and have a very nice relaxed time. If you have friends around, there's plenty of room. This is a good demonstration here at the back of the new fabrics for 2025. Before, if you might remember them from a video I did, they had a blue strip, and for me it just wasn't working. This is really nice, so big yes from me. These are the cushions. You can see the finish on those. That's maybe a mink colour and then complemented by that one. Before I talk about the beds, let's just talk about this space up here, the overhead lockers. Again, they've all got these buttons that you push. If we open just a couple of these up, you can see the amount of storage you're going to get in your overhead lockers. This is the aerial from the roof coming in, but nice amount of locker space, and you've got a good payload as well, so you shouldn't have too much issues using these cupboards for your storage. And again, these ones here showing the storage, and nice strong clasps as well. Close those, and then back here, this one just pulls up, and there's two more at the back there. So those are your storage cupboards. And then what we do have as well are these sunroofs 1 and 2. These do open as well, and they've got the blinds and the fly screen. So if it's warm weather, get those open, get some fresh air in. You'll see along here, there's some nice lighting as well. LED lights situated behind that cupboard. So they're running along there nicely. And under here, you've got some little LED lights, and there's a USB charger as well connected to that. There's certainly more USBs dotted about than there are the plug sockets, so if you've got your cable, you'll be fine. Windows, so on each side, again, we have the concertina blind, and there is the fly screen as well. These windows, both of them open out, so again, fresh air coming in. If you want to put a television in, there's already a bracket there ready to install properly, and under here, plug socket, and you can see there for your aerial. Right, now let's talk about beds. As I say, it's a 2 berth. Now it depends how you want to use this. You can sleep as single beds. If you do, these are 6'3" in length, or 190 centimetres. So 6'3", not bad. In terms of width, 65 centimetres. So you can use them as 2 singles. These do remove, so you can lift those off as well to fully make use of that space. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove this and show you the storage underneath, because you can use this as a double bed if you want, and I'll talk through that as I go. So singles, 6'3" long. Now, if I lift this one up, under here, there is a table. This here's the table. What you do is you lift up your slats on here, remove this cushion to make it a bit easier. Lift out your table. There's also the table leg that is under the bench seat. We place the leg within this space here, it fixes in, then the tabletop goes on top. So if you're wanting to enjoy a meal or use your table, it's fixed there for you. I'll just put that back down. Now these cushions, when you want to use this as a double bed, these have got a little bit of Velcro here. Both these backrests are going to pull out like this, and these are going to become part of the mattress system for your double bed. So let me do that, and then just put this back across here and show you where you're going to find the double bed. Now under this part, just move that across from there. There we go. Under this part, down here, so we're on the near side of the motorhome, down here, you can see this wooden slat here. This is the slat to make the bed up. So we remove this slat, and then what's going to happen is that slat is going to run along the middle part here. You're going to utilise your cushions, your backrest cushions, and you're then going to make yourself a large double bed. That double bed is going to be 190 centimetres long, or 6'3", and it's going to be 186 centimetres wide, basically across the width of the campervan. So it's totally up to you if you'd rather have single beds or a big double. Depends how much you want to go into making a bed, I suppose. So that's the sleeping system and the table system back here in the B62. All that good amount of storage, very nice. The compromise, yes, the compromise is here. There's always a compromise. Yeah, I'd say there's always a compromise. And on this one, it's here. But we've got a really great oven and the 3 gas burners. Again, plenty of storage and a nice, good size compressor fridge with freezer compartment. And then that Ford cab and the automatic as well. Let's dive back out using my safety handle, my handy handle. So out we come. So with the door open, we can see the near side of the Bailey Endeavour. There is, if I just go here, pull this across, there is a nice slam on the door as you close it. The step you can leave out when you're out and about. If you want to close it up, obviously up to you. That is the exterior of the Bailey Endeavour B62. That is a 2 berth, 2 seat campervan based on Ford, priced at £70,000. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link down there so you can take a closer look at this model. I'll also put a link to Herne Lane Caravan and Motorhome Club site as well, where we are filming today, so you can have a look here as well if you want. Thank you to Bailey of Bristol, who have brought this camper van onto site so we could review it for you, and thank you to the Caravan and Motorhome Club who've let us film on site as well. If you've got any questions, obviously put them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.